Hello to everyone. Today we supposed to cover the basic concept. This is our second part. Let's proceed. Types and rules of accounts. As per traditional concepts, accounts are classified into two parts. First one is personal account and second is impersonal account. Now this impersonal account is classified under two parts. One is your real account, another one is your nominal account. So we can say accounts are of three types: personal, real, and nominal account. Now, what is this personal account? Personal account means accounts which are related to person, that is natural personal account, artificial personal account, and representative personal account. Now, what is this natural personal account? Natural personal account means it denotes the name of individual, that is Ram account, Mohan account, capital account, drawings account. These all are our natural personal account. That means which denotes any individual. That is Ram is a person, Mohan is a person, capital contributed by the owner. So owner is a person. Drawing, when owner withdrew some amount, that is drawing, the owner is a person. So these all are our natural personal account. Next is your artificial personal account. It denotes firm's name, company's name, etc. That is Punjab National Bank, PNB, Tata is a company, Wipro is a company. When any company when any company when we are explaining any company, we are giving them a particular name. That are our artificial personal account. Next is your representative personal account. It may if any amount to be paid to someone or received in advance from someone, they are also a representative personal account. Prepaid expenses, outstanding expenses, pre-received income, accrued income. Prepaid expenses means when we are paying someone some extra amount in advance. Outstanding expenses means when we are not paying any amount, we have to pay after certain time period. Pre-received income means when we have received some income from someone before time, they are pre-received income. And accrued income means when some income to be received. Okay, they are your accrued income. So these are termed as representative personal account. So personal account classified under three part. They are natural personal account, artificial personal account, and representative personal account. Now come to your next part, that is your real account. Now real account are classified into two part. One is your tangible account, another one is your intangible account. Now tangible account means that can be touched, seen, felt and measured. That means when we can touch, see or feel that this is an assets, they are our tangible accounts. And intangible means can't be touched or seen. We can't touch that assets, but we can't see that, but can be measured, but it have some value. They are intangible assets. Now come to your example part. Now land, building, plant, machinery, furniture, fixtures, etc., these are all our tangible assets because you can touch them, you can see them, you can measure them. They are tangible assets. And intangible assets are, that means intangible accounts: goodwill, patent, copyright, trademark, know-how. Goodwill we can feel, we can measure goodwill. Patent we can measure, but we can't see, we can't touch them. That's why they are intangible account. Now come to your next part, nominal account. Nominal account are classified into two parts. Number one, which is your expenses and losses, and number two is your income and gains. Now, what are expenses? Expenses are recurring in nature. That means what you have to pay recurringly. That means this month you have paid, in coming month also you have to pay. So expenses are recurring in nature. For example, rent, it is to be paid in monthly basis. Salary also, it is in monthly basis. Commission paid, etc. These all are our expenses. And now income are recurring in nature. Example, interest received, commission received, etc. These all are the examples of income. Incomes. Income means when we are earning some regular revenue, they are our income. And losses are monetary loss. Okay, bad debts, discount allowed, etc. These are our losses. Next is your gain are monetary gain, that is discount received, bad debt recovery, etc. So these are our expenses and losses, and income and gains which comes under nominal account. Now come to our note, why we need to classify. That means how we are classifying these categories, why we are classifying this. Now all the transactions have dual effect. One is debit, another one is credit. Example, suppose goods sold for cash. Here goods goes out and cash comes in. So goods goes out means goods goes out, you are selling out some goods, that means goods will flow out, there is a outflow of goods and inflow of cash. To know this, we need to classify the accounts. So that's why we are classifying these accounts. So overall, accounts are classified into three categories: personal, real, and nominal. And now personal means person related. It may be natural person, it may be artificial person, it may be representative person. And real account means tangible and intangible assets comes under real account. And in nominal account, expenses and losses and income and gains. Now let us come to next part, which is your golden rule. What is this golden rule? Now classification of these accounts, personal, real and nominal account. These three are having separate rules for debit and credit. Now in personal account, debit the receiver and credit the giver. And in real account, what comes in will be debited and what goes out will be credited. Suppose in a transactions you are finding what comes in. If it is a real account, then what comes in it will be debited, and if you are paying out something, if you are giving something, it will be credited. Now in nominal account, all expenses and losses are to be debited and all income and gains are to be credited. So this is our golden rule. Now come to your debit and credit. Next part, debit. Debit is owned. We have right on it. Debit means what? If we own something, we have right on that something. That balances are debit balance. And credit means credit is what is loaned. We have to pay off. That means when we supposed to pay something or when we have to pay something, these all balances are termed as credit. Next, suppose we have a pen. It means we own the pen. Suppose we are having a pen, and it means we own that pen. It is ours. Suppose assets, it is debit because it gives benefit or cash, because it gives some benefit since we own that assets. So the benefit from that assets, we will receive only the benefit. So suppose assets, it is debit because it gives benefit or cash. The business will debit all items if cash will comes in and benefit to be received in future. Every assets to be debited because benefits to be derived from those assets, and or cash will be inflow in future. So these, if the nature of any item is assets, benefit we will receive from that, so those are debit balance. Now come to your credit part. Suppose we took our loan from bank. It means we have to pay it. So suppose we took a loan, so it means after certain period we need to pay that. Suppose liabilities, it is credit because we have to pay off. So liabilities are of credit balance because after certain time period we have to pay off. Suppose bank overdraft, creditors. Creditors means the person from whom we are purchasing goods in credit. So we have to pay them the amount after certain time period. So those are my liabilities and they are of credit balance because we have to pay off. Now the business will credit all the item as we have to sacrifice cash in future. So when we supposed to sacrifice, when we supposed to pay off, then those balances are our credit balance because business have to sacrifice those amounts. Now come to your last part, that is your, this is also related to assets and liabilities only. So whatever the expenses incurred by the business, it is to be debited. All expenses are to be debited. Why? Because business pays salary to its employee or commission to its employee or rent to the tenant, whatever the expenses may be, because business pays any expenses to its employees, to business is having right to on the employees to receive salary from him. Because when business pay salary to that person, that means we supposed to take benefit from that person. So when we supposed to get benefit for from anything, so we supposed to debit all those. Just now we read in previous topic, because business pays salary to his employees, to business is having right to on the employees to receive salary from him. So expenses are debited. Now come to next part. Whatever is income earned by the business, it is to be credited. That means whatever the income, those are to be credited. Why? Now because business earns income by using owner's fund, so business supposed to pay to the owner. So if business have earned something, so that earning to be credited because business have to pay this earning to the owner, because business have utilized the owner's fund to earn this income. So from business point, income are loan as business supposed to pay it to its owner. So business supposed to pay this income to the owner because business have utilized the owner's fund to earn this income, and so incomes are to be credited. So these are the basic concepts of debit and credit. We usually debit all assets because in future we supposed to get the benefit. All expenses are to be debited because when we are when we are paying someone, that means we supposed to get benefit from that particular person or for that particular reason. And credit balances are liabilities, that means when we supposed to pay to someone. And all incomes are also credited because business utilized the amount, the fund of the owner to generate this income. So all incomes are credited. Thank you.